Here at the park, the Findhorn surrounded by beauty, it's so intense. Findhorn has relationships with other places that share this intensity and this really lovely unspoiled nature. And one of those sister communities is in Erraid, on the island of Airaid. So this year, my friend John set out to Erraid in March. I said to him, the weather is perfect, John, go now. And so he did. And this film is a homage to Erraid on our 60th birthday year. And I also went up north to speak to Angus Marland about his experiences during the time when the community was being formed in Erraid.
Erraid community started in 1978 when Jonathan, Joanna and I arrived in early February. I think it was snowing, and we arrived on the island and set up camp. We were in the left-hand cottage. I think it was number 2 is where we made our home, and it was pretty tough to start with. There was little heating. Really, the cottages at that time were for summer holidays, and they were Spartan holidays at the best. So to arrive in February was a challenge. But we loved being there. Needless to say, one of the key features of early days in Erraid was the loos. And our first one, it was an outside pit toilet, was made of 4 doors roped together into a square. And the way you knew it was engaged was if the door was open, because we had it in Ella's garden, which was the left-hand garden, and the view out to Ben Moor was spectacular. So the loo was engaged if the door was open. It was called DT, which is short for Dazzling and Tremendous, which is the opening words of a poem that somebody had written on the inside wall of the of the loo. So it was known as DT. What else is special about that time? Surely Hughie and Bella lived on Knockvolligan. They were the crofters on Knockvolligan, and Hugh was the shepherd for Erraid. And he would come over and was really our guardian angel. He knew he'd lived his life on the Ross of Mull, and very friendly. He helped us a lot. We would go over to his and help him, whether it was planting potatoes or cutting peat or helping with the sheep or whatever. There was a great exchange there. And whenever we went over, Bella had a wonderful lunch prepared for us. And she was an angel. She was just great. So we gradually got to know the local farmers, the local people. They were very supportive. One thing I remember particularly, one of them saying how great it is to see the lights on in Erraid during the winter. You know, people coming back to live year-round there was a bit of a landmark. So, another Spartan story was that we had a Rayburn in number 2, and it had a water heater was part of it, bolted onto the side. And so if we wanted a bath, the bath was in cottage number 1. So the water heater on the Rayburn would heat up 2 honey buckets of water. And so you would go across with your 2 honey buckets, put 1 honey bucket into the bath, get in and have a bath, rinse off with half the second bucket, wash your clothes in the bath water, and then rinse your clothes in the second half of the second bucket. And that was the kind of cycle for keeping clean. And it worked.